It runs for 78 hours. The idea is if a student charges and comes to college, he or she should not have to charge again whole day until they go home.
Created by IIT. Created by IIT.
This is a project we are running it. Of course, it is made. The software is ours. It runs on Debian. Runs on Debian. Yeah, in fact, I can even project this. Whether I will know what it looks like. Because I don't remember. So here is the open modeling equation. It's not coming. Something I have. Yeah. So anyway, this is something you can make it work. Display, normal. I have to change something else. But I can tell you that it works without any problem. Like I said, open modeling 10,000 equation I have solved, and so on. Something I have to figure out. Okay, any other question? So I'm really happy to see you all. Happy that that I could be here, and I want to thank the Anna University for inviting me. And I hope you all benefit by this. I hope you all contribute. I hope you use it. Okay. Open source software is an amazing thing because it allows us to share, work together, collaborate. It helps. Our spoken tutorial is an active learning. Active learning, right? And so on. So there are many nice things we can do. Yeah, I will give you.
So I thank Professor Kannan sir for giving an elaborate and excellent presentation because it's a new thing, and at least the coming end of this course you will have that in your mind. And definitely I also feel that we have to buy this cost-effective laptop so that it will be useful for us and for the students, because classroom teaching we need not carry a bulky one, and I think it is a good thing, and you can also recommend to your colleges if possible. And sir also can put a word to our vice chancellor so that this laptop.
Yeah, you can carry it. Actually, it's very lightweight.
So 3 things he has given, which is very good, and we can also try to contribute in the examples of what the professor has shown to us. Like,
yeah, this is 1 lakh. This is 10,000. Okay, I say half the MacBook Air experience at 10% cost.
So that's very nice. So Apple, you are comparing our Indian brain with Apple. 12 o'clock night also they will be having classes. So with that, I'm not asking you to stay till 12 o'clock tonight.
One second.
By the way, I want to tell.
One second, maybe you can.
No, one second.
President, talk to you first. Maybe you can also come with Professor, because both of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Programming is going to be used for any domain. You can use it for any domain. You can use it. And the forthcoming will be seeing all the Python programming effect. So it will be started with a very basic. It doesn't require any programming. Basic programming knowledge is more than enough. This can be used for most of your research work. It will be helpful for your research work, for the laboratories. And another paradigm what is growing on is Python programming. Hope this will be very useful, and this workshop, it will be done with the IIT Mumbai, and the certificate also will be given with the IIT Mumbai. Okay, please do share with the other from to a college purpose. Thank you.
Sincere thanks to the organizers of this program, particularly to Professor Sharmili, who has taken a very personal initiative in inviting me, and I am very grateful to her for giving me an opportunity to share my experience with you. As you know, the last session I also enjoyed along with you. The professor was explaining about the self-regulated learning, and in future that is going to be the scenario. As a researcher in outcome-based education, I visited over 1,500 engineering colleges in India, in 20 states. And I've also interacted with students, and many students, thousands of students I have interacted. And almost 90% of the students say that they don't require teachers. They said we will learn ourselves. And I do not know, they are given in writing also, I am not discouraging the teachers. They say, I don't know why they are giving an information, because information is available in the internet. And we expect the teachers to concentrate on the concepts, which they don't. It is very unfortunate that we waste our time in the classroom. This is what I have recorded. Thousands and thousands of students have mentioned this in the feedback. I also told them, you need not mention your name, you can just give your opinion. They said, no sir, why do you bother? I will give my name and sign also. This is the scenario. I am not discouraging the students, the teachers, because the teachers put what we call is, put others' monkeys on the head. That means you are unnecessarily doing unwanted things as teachers. And now the scenario has changed, that it is learner-centric approach, which doesn't mean that the learners learn and teacher-led system is teachers teach. There is a world of a difference between these two, and a teacher must understand that. And within a span of around 10 to 15 years, the scenario has totally changed in the world, that it is no longer a linear, syllabus-oriented, time-bound system. It is holistic, learner-centric, and it is a non-linear system that a teacher must understand. So this is a system which we in NIT TTR have developed. Now this is a part of, if some of you who have worked in industries maybe know it, it is conceive, design, implement and operate. This is a framework which in industries they do. I worked for around 14, 15 years in industry. I developed software for industries. And I know a new problem given, it is we have to conceive. What is the problem? You take few days time, you conceive how you are going to do it, and then you design it, and you anticipate for implementation and operation, what is the problem that is going to come. And then this is a framework which is normally adapted in industries. And engineering was taught as an engineering science until around mid of 2010 or so throughout the world. But MIT changed it. It is no longer an engineering science. It has to be engineering practice. So, after the introduction of CDIO by MIT, it is now changing to engineering practice. And this is what it has been proved beyond doubt that this is going to be the future. And China, for example, Vision 2030, higher education, China declaring Qingdao Declaration in 2016 is anticipating to be the leader in engineering education in 2030, and that is inclusive, outcome-based. So we are going to see what is this. It is a huge program which I myself take around, a flexible program of around 2 weeks with using workshop practice also. And there are around 5 to 6 characteristics like instructional characteristics, institutional characteristics, how to develop instructions for the students in a learner-centric approach and so on. Since I have been given with only 1 hour, and that too, I am very sorry, we have already crossed 5:45. I will try to minimize my thing. We will also make it an interactive session. And I will cut short to a 2 days talk on learner characteristics to maybe 45 minutes. Okay. So this is very essential. Why it is essential? I am Jnana Sambandhan, very recently retired professor of computer science. And I would call myself as an engineer because I am basically a civil engineer. I graduated from GCT Coimbatore, then the MBA from University of Science Bangalore, and PhD from IIT Madras. I started my career as a software engineer way back at around 13. So many years I worked as a software engineer. So I came back to India and I was appointed as a professor of computer science and engineering. But believe it or not, most of the software which I developed in the industry was for mechanical engineering, in rotating equipment, in tailing disposal, then finite element analysis of pressure vessels, piping surge analysis and things like that for around 15 years or so. So I can talk about civil engineering, mechanical engineering and now computer science. In short, I have been specialized in outcome-based education and CDI. So you can contact me through this thing. Let us now go to sociology, to pharmacology, pharmacy, or geology, or English literature, philosophy, whatever. It never says that this is how you are to instruct. It is a theory. On the other hand, conceive, design, implement and operate is a framework which is adapted in industries, whether mechanical engineering industry or civil engineering or computer science. This is a framework which is a standard. There are similar other standards, for example, Washington Accord, which MBA is using, is a standard, but it shows only the destination. Other standards like ABET, Accreditation Board for Engineering Technology, like that Dublin Accord, all these things are standard. CDIO also is a standard, but whereas these standards give destination, this gives roadmap. So my interaction with many teachers, they don't know how to develop instructions according to OBE. They simply talk about PEO, PO, CO, finished. And then they keep on teaching in the linear, time-bound, syllabus-oriented education, which is opposed to OBE. Or in other words, in principle, they don't practice OBE. They simply talk about PEO, PO, CO, stop it. And that is misleading and it is completely out of outcome-based education. This is what I have seen with my interaction with around more than 1,000 engineering colleges. None, to my knowledge, has implemented OBE. Particularly the teachers don't know what is OBE. I am sorry for sounding this, but this is a fact. I'll just quickly go through some of the accords. You know, 89 to 94, many Western nations, well-developed nations like USA, UK, etc., they wanted to have a common platform for horizontal migration of the students. For example, a second-year mechanical engineering students in Australia could go and continue in third-year mechanical engineering in the USA, provided both the institutes have same or similar program outcomes. A program in mechanical engineering, this is our outcome. If it is matching, then the students can go. But now it has come to such a level that in a partial credited program, like in a 4-credit program, if a student has completed 2 credits in one subject, could go and continue 3rd credit in some other country. It is possible and it is being practiced, provided both the programs have same or similar program outcomes. It is very important. You can adapt any standard like ABET or Washington Accord or Dublin Accord, whatever you have adapted. These are only minor changes out there. But actually, when they started this Washington Accord in 89 to 94, it was the end of the last millennium. It was vision for engineering education in the next 21st century. That is, this was started earlier, in line with industries. That is why I say, if you have worked in industries for more than, I think, in my opinion, for about 10 years or so, you will become the best teacher in engineering. I don't say it is right. If it is practically not possible, you may have to work with industries, not only through consultancy, but strategically aligned industries. Okay. Okay. I don't say if it is not practically possible, you may have to involve with strategically aligned industries. Otherwise, OBE will be very difficult to implement. Okay. Other things started here with 2010 and 2016. Very late 2014, India signed hurriedly within these 4 walls. Don't quote my name. India was forced to sign Washington Accord. Otherwise, World Bank said we will not give you soft law, like take it 1, take it 2, take it 1, take it 2, all will be stopped. So India hurriedly signed without knowing what is outcome-based education. And this is my opinion. And this is what you are facing even today. Whether you like it or not, we will be forced to switch over to outcome-based education, and we will be in great trouble if we do not know the philosophy of outcome-based education. I will just go to the other end, how to prepare instructions and assessment according to learning outcome. This is CDIO, this, as I was mentioning to you, it's a practice in industries. There are various version 2 has come when ABET and you know what is an ABET? Accreditation Board for Engineering Technology in the US, like Washington Accord. And when they started with industries, ABET and Washington Accord started with industries. Because industries want, as Professor was telling, that 95% of the students are misfit to industries. And now, what our engineering is producing, let us accept certain facts as real. It is real that the engineering education has gone to tops. And if you continue like that, it will perish in 2 to 3 years' time, or even maximum 4 years' time. Engineering education will perish because quality is not achieved. It is very strange that the CDIO came from MIT, United States, which is an educational institution. When ABET said, look, for industries require this, and this is what the graduate attributes, the properties of engineering students should be, and we don't care how they are going to get it. We don't specify the roadmap, and it is up to you to bring whatever roadmap. That's all. ABET, Accreditation Board, NBA. Even NBA, to my knowledge, within quote to quote, don't quote my name, they don't know what is outcome-based education. And that is a reality. That is true. And they said, we don't care how you are going to get it. And there came CDIO. Then CDIO said, let us give the standards with respect to UNESCO's 4 pillars of education. And finally, they should be happy, the students. Whether it is Africa or any Asian country, they have developed for United Nations. In my opinion, again, if you look at the Washington Accord or ABET, it is for North American countries. And India, China, for example, is not a member of that. And India, we are simply going towards that. So in my opinion, if we go go to the UNESCO's 4 pillars of education, which Syria is based upon, like level 1, it talks about problem solving ability, analytical ability, design ability, design for the society, for whom? For India, holistic knowledge and so on. And the level 2, individual, as a student has to be in teamwork as well as some people stop me if you say time is out because you are already at the last search. And the level 3, conceive, design, implement and so on. For whom? For our society. And who has to develop? An engineering student must develop. An engineering student can design a coding, for example. One set of students could code for 200 lines, another set of students can code 2000 lines of coding. And if I ask you, what is that as a teacher? Why you have selected for the problem 200 lines of coding? You will say, sir, efficiency. No, very good. Why you have taken 2000 lines of coding? Sir, attrition is the biggest problem in industries, and documentation is a very important thing, and we have got a very clear, including documentation with 2000 lines. Efficiency doesn't matter. Fantastic. Fantastic. So that means creativity is part and parcel of engineering. There is no unique solution for a problem. Yet one can develop. If it is an acceptable solution, there are so many solutions available in any engineering. For example, mechanical engineering or civil engineering or computer science, any discipline, this is the case. So, creativity is the most essential thing. He has to work, he has to produce by himself and also work in a team. In a day, in many industries, I worked in major industries. EAL, I was there for 5 years ago. 75% of the day, you have to simply talk with others, other engineers. That means communication becomes a very important aspect for an engineer. If he cannot open out his mouth, what is the use of working as an engineer? He may be good at subject matter, it doesn't matter. That also is a part and parcel. And for example, a student could argue, for example, let us say an electrical engineer. If you compare with the thermal power station, I am not an electrical engineer, but I will just tell you. Thermal power station produces a 500 megawatt of electricity by spending crores and crores of rupees, 1000 crores spending with the smoke coming out and with the chimney putting, occupying several hectares of land. Would you prefer thermal power station or on the other hand non-conventional power generation like solar and things like that, which can also produce, let us say, 500 megawatts. Tell me. Which one you would prefer? A thermal power station which is producing electricity with 500 megawatts by polluting. We are all electrical engineers. Which one? Your opinion? No answer? Non-conventional. Yes? I am a student, I will say. Excuse me, sir. I am a student of electrical engineering from Pattinirambatti. Let us ask. So that's why we are going to learn her characteristics. It's the most important. Sir, I would prefer thermal power station. Why? Could you argue? Sir, in our Indian society, the available coal, which may not be of world standard, it will come for 150 years. Western countries don't have coal. And if in unexplored coal itself may come for 400 years in India. Fantastic. How did you collect? Yes, sir, I collected this information. It may pollute, no problem. We have to do research for Indian condition, increase the chimney, and then the fly ash, what we get, we use it for construction as an M sand instead of river sand. Fantastic. And the thermal power station is going to give hundreds and thousands of job opportunities. Fantastic. For India, that is what I will give preference. This is what outcome-based education is. You must think for our engineers as a society. Why is simply following Western countries will say, don't pollute our air, don't pollute, because they don't have coal. But India has got. Why can't we explore? This the student must know. This is what outcome-based education is all about. Let them try. I don't say don't try with the non-conventional energy. That also you do. But you decide for a society. And that must be imbibed in your subject content. And this is what UNESCO says, don't copy. Do for engineering technology, let it develop as an engineer. Okay. Now, there is a okay, parallel. Nice. No problem. Never mind. So, engineering education, first of all, you must understand it allows creativity. There is no two solutions, it is alike. The methodology of solving, teacher doesn't say. If a teacher says, he will copy that methodology. You must allow him to find out the solution. And therefore, the education system, what you understand, what you must understand in outcome-based education is not a linear, syllabus-oriented, time-bound system. It is a developmental system. What happened to
No. I'm just checking.
Now I will use it as a point. It is a developmental system like a tree. So you must fundamentally understand there is a paradigm shift in the approach of the teaching learning methods, what traditionally we are following, to a developmental system. This is a learner is learning in a learner-centric approach. It doesn't mean that he is learning instead of a teacher teaching. Teacher-led, teacher is given. It is not that simple. There is a world of a difference between these two, which you must understand. You must go to the fundamental characteristics of the learner. To whom you are teaching, is it Orissa students or +2 students who are coming from Pattivirambatti, may be different from who is coming from Chennai, who is coming from Orissa. His basic mathematical knowledge could be different, his behavior in the society could be different, his communication ability could be different, and so on. So you must understand what is the fundamental current learner characteristics. Then you must approach what is going to be your institute's aspiring learner characteristics, and you are going to develop him through a societal, social environment with other characteristics. It could be assessment characteristics. It is not examination-driven system. He is not bothering about the final examination. In fact, OBE specifies as Oxford University, for example, nobody writes the final examination. Students, it is only less than 10%. 90% is formative assessment. It is continuously developing. There is no examination fever for the student. We all get examination fever. It is not examination driven system. It is in fact for the teacher to find out whether he is developing. So teacher characteristics is very important, and the most important is the instructional characteristics, contemporary industrial characteristics, because industrial products will keep on changing. In 1 year time, 50% of the computer technology is becoming obsolete. In 5 years time, 50% of entire engineering technology is becoming obsolete. That means you have to keep on changing. Then it will become ever-increasing syllabus. So what to do? You must find out with institutional characteristics all of it root, and slowly this fellow is developing, and finally at times attributes or properties. He is not only able to understand the working principle of centrifugal pump, he will be able to convince the client in this particular situation for pumping a slurry in Tiruchirappalli area using Kaveri river. He will be able to communicate. He will be able to find the solution for an environment problem. He will be able to discuss about project management, finance, everything in a holistic way. imbibed in centrifugal working principle, and he attained so many fruits after graduation. So that means OBE doesn't bother about entry level qualification and final level qualification. It says entry level behavior, particularly students, and final behavior as a good engineer in triple. This is what open is. What is the span? Doesn't matter. All can graduate, not on the same day, not in the same way. That means, can he take 2.5 years and get out? Yeah. 3 years and become honest? Yeah. 8 years? Okay, fine. He'll become an electrical engineer with all these properties. So it is a developmental education system. There are so many changes you must understand. It is not possible to understand within 1 hour, but let us try to see, since this is most important for a learner-centric approach, who is that particular middle student? What is his current learner characteristics and what is our institutional characteristics? With this, you cannot compare a student with another student. Now look, that fellow has got 84%, you got only 36%. Hell with it, he will say, I am good at communication. That fellow doesn't know what is there. He may be good at only the subject content. So it is overall holistic development which matters for an engineer, not only the core content. That means you cannot compare with students and students. You cannot compare with the institution with another institution. Your institution has got a goal, vision. Like for example, you can say rural uplift in electrical engineering. You may be talking about one subject in analysis of system, power systems. The same analysis of power systems in a neighboring institute, vision, mission could be globalization, product development with respect to global perspective. This institute is for rural uplift. So the same subject content of analysis of power systems could be taught, but it will be totally different. You cannot compare with the institution to institution, student with students. All will become according to your aspiring learner characteristics, which may differ from institution to institute, current learner characteristics, which may differ from student to student, and so the total scenario of an education instructional process will change. And they have changed in India. We are yet to understand even that. But be prepared. At any time, you will be forced to change. So, you must understand what is called this education. So, let us take the most important learner characteristics as the first one. I am sorry, time is running out. So, I do not know how to proceed. I will just give some insights into the learner characteristics. Why we must know learner characteristics and why we must allow the learner to learn. Self-regulate teaching and learning is going to be the future. Not that everything will go to that virtual learning environment, as Professor was talking about. Without VLE, there is no OBE. Without virtual learning environment and the use of mobile phone in the classroom, the teacher would be saying, Ramasamy, your assignment is 22.B. Sita Lakshmi, you are going to correct the assignment of Ramasamy, and the submission date is, look at your mobile phone, you say 22nd June. Okay, you understand? Teacher will not come. You are going to correct for him, you are going to correct for Kandasamy, and you will be submitting, you evaluate. If there is a problem, you can contact me. And one classroom, there will be 12 students attending. The next class, there will be 130 students will be attending for a professor. So he cannot remember. He will be acting as a mentor. Mentor is very important. A mentor for every faculty, the number of students will be the staff to student ratio of an institution. If there is 20, then 20 students will be allotted to a mentor. Till they graduate, he will be with the guru. It is a Guru Shishya approach, and believe it or not, OBE originated from ancient India. Because we have done a lot of research. I have produced 13 PhDs with around 8 to 9 PhDs of outcome-based education. It originated in ancient India. And now we don't. They are copyrighted. And we have to pay $1 the card, and it is from India. Okay, okay. So, learner characteristics, it is standard 1.2 version 2 of CPA. It is very important to understand.
CPA,
Yeah, conceive, design, implement, operate. If you take any subject matter, analysis of your power systems, definitely you will conceive a problem. Yes or no? Then once you conceive a problem, you will have to design a system for a specific condition. Then it will be implemented somewhere. And then it will be operated. This is what any problem in engineering technology will have to deal with. And this is what a framework or a model using which a teacher must design an instructional content which is aiming for learning outcome. Okay? Learning outcome is totally different from your PO, CO, etc. PO, CO are not actually outcome. In fact, the best word for outcome is outcome, no doubt about it. But it's not outcome. SEO is a outcome statement which is describing the learning outcome already attained by the student. What is outcome then? Outcome. How to make masala dosa? You put this ingredient. No. Sir, this is a masala dosa which I have prepared. Outcome. What is the outcome? Sir, another masala dosa I have prepared. Outcome. Masala dosa is outcome. This fellow will be able to convince the client the use of centrifugal pump for pumping a slurry in Chennai economically. Another one with environment concern, with reducing the labor input or increasing the labor, so that is a contribution for the society. So it is imbibing the skill and the attitude in your core content is outcome. You cannot treat, for example, increasing communication skill. We have a department of English. No, that is not outcome-based education. You have to, the student will be able to convince a client in a subject content using his communication ability. Similarly, ethics. Similarly, engineering society, etc., etc. Certain standards which are not absent in Washington Accord, like safety or detailing. Detailing is very important in Indian scenario. Whatever be the case, you can use CDIO which will satisfy both. Okay, any questions you can ask me? Or we are only starting, so I do not know how long. If you want to go out and all, it's up to the man. You can.
What are the things you're going to cover today?
I can, as I told you, this learner characteristics itself will go for 2 days.
2 days.
So I am going to cut short to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. You can ask me. We are not going to do workshop. In actual course, they will be finding out their learners. It is very essential to find out your learners. Pativirambatti, I have given an example. I am not from Pativirambatti. But for a Pativirambatti, students are more to find out their learner characteristics and then change your instructions accordingly. And your aspiring learner characteristics, you must define in your institution. And you are filling up the gap. And that is developing them according to that. And then your instruction will change, your assessment methodology will change, etc., etc. Let us go to learner characteristics. First, you must understand the development of a brain for a human being. It is very essential for OBE/CDAO because it is the basic constituents. How it happens? If you look at a baby is born. From day one, learning starts. No other creature is doing this. Learning is not there. It is only skill development is there. For example, a fish is hatching out of an egg. Immediately it starts swimming. There is no instructor to teach the fish how to swim. Or a calf born out of a cow, with a little bit struggle, it starts walking. But you take a human being, it takes one complete If you say, no, if you take a lifespan is around 100 years, what about elephant? More than 120 years, 150 years, it takes 1 hour to stand up and start walking. What is that phenomenon? Why human being alone is taking it? Because outcome-based education is for human being. If for higher education, we will see about it. There are around 100 structures in the brain. This was found very recently, around 15 years back only it was found that around 5 structures, particularly in the top of the brain, which are unique to human. One is neofrontal cortex. It is here, a very small portion, which is there for chimpanzees and ape also, but it is not as much developed